Hello and welcome back to Rupert's Reptiles and another Thailand herping video. This time it's featuring handfuls of sea crates and so many other exciting species. Let's get right to it. So, on our way to Snake Island, and it is a complete contrast to last time. Look at these placid, calm seas. Look at the sky. Just one day ago, it was absolutely ridiculous rain though. We came here at a perfect time. Look at this. Ah, lovely. Very happy with this. Even though I swim, you know, I know how quickly you can drown the ocean, so I got the life jacket on. David thinks he can take on the seas by himself.
I'm not planning to get into the seas, so.
Alright guys, we spent the afternoon snorkeling and fishing, so no filming got done, but now it's come nightfall. We finished dinner and it's time to get out and look for some sea crates. That's the number one target as always. Let's get to it. Alright, David just made the call and there it is. First Latticauda colubrina of the night. Approximately, what, 2 minutes into searching?
Yeah, maybe closer to 5.
Time's been moving differently for us, but that's fine. This guy's here amongst the rocks, typical kind of habitat. You can see this rocky bluff here, the coastline out there far away, and right here a snake which is incredibly common here but very, very difficult to find in Thailand. In fact, there's barely any known spots. If some of you want to come to Thailand and look for this species, they occasionally pop up on iNaturalist on CoPP, but not commonly. So if you do see one on the coast there, it's definitely a good sighting. But here is the one spot we've been able to find with a really reliable amount. And I'm sure we'll see another one. I'm going to leave this one chilling out here in these rocks. What a beauty. What do you think?
Very good.
Been a while since we saw that first one and was wondering where they were. And I turned around and there's beautiful banded individual here. Another colubrina for sure. Not blue enough to be Latticauda, although that would be incredible to see one here. Just in situ here on the rock. Obviously, oh, yeah, come here. Yes, yes, you. Okay, less of the freaking out, more of the chilling, okay. This is one species which is probably as close as you can possibly get to saying never bites. Like, they hand these out to children, aquarium shows here in Thailand, in Indonesia, they let tourists hold them. And I've never heard of any incident happening in these environments or amongst herpers as well, who of course catch them in large numbers and hold them in hand just like I am here. Now he's calming down and you can see it a bit better. Colubrina has this very kind of gray coloration. Whereas Latticauda, that grey will be distinctly more blue. I wasn't convinced on how easy they were to tell apart without scale counts until I saw one, and then I was like, okay, they're the easiest thing to tell apart. You can really, really notice them. And when you compare them together, Latticauda is insanely beautiful, way more beautiful. And I really hope we can encounter one in Thailand one day. But of course, we've seen that one on my channel in the Philippines, but just gonna let this baby go now because I've kind of harassed it for a couple minutes now of video, and I'm hoping we can encounter some more, maybe even a big one. But this one's decent size. It's about your average size Latticauda colubrina here on this island. David claims to have, wait, I can see it. It says sub.
It is.
I was gonna say, David said he found a snake we did not expect to find here, and it really is a, I thought for a second it could be a Davisoni. But no, it's probably one of the largest Hyly-Venomous subannulatas I've ever seen. You mind taking your torch off?
Yeah, sure.
You can tell that because it's actually like dark brown with the yellow bands. I don't know how clear that is. And when you look towards the rear half of the body, you can see it's a lot more netted. You see that, guys? Which is quite distinct from Davisoni, this like netting you see on the flanks here.
Lively.
It's got a big tick on its head and it's a little bit skinny.
Looks very unhealthy.
Not the worst condition, maybe he's in need of a drink, but there's tons of geckos around, so he should be getting food. Maybe that tick on his head has been causing him some concern, but yeah, that is definitely an odd snake. I mean, I know these guys get around, especially down here in the south, not unheard of from islands, but certainly a cool encounter. And with this sort of chocolate brown coloration and such faded bands on the tail, it is looking kind of decrepit. You guys can see that big tick on the head there. Let me move just as I try to show that. Guess you can kind of see it already. Yeah, we'll be getting rid of that one. That looks like a new tick, not a typical snake tick, that one. It's even got some yellow and black markings. Kind of a, I was gonna say a beautiful tick, but that is a really, that's a big boss oxymoron right there. So yeah, what an interesting find, new species for Snake Island. And let's go, awesome. I was up on the trail looking for mangrove pits, and David was down here on the rocks straight patrolling, and
I didn't have a bag, so I had to improvise with my t-shirt. Got a few of them in there.
How many is that, like 5?
4 or 5. I think I lost one like on the way while walking.
Yeah. Damn.
I swear there's like less now than I started with, but...
So we just released that handful, and they're just doing their thing, cruising around. They never really go too far when you release them, these guys. You can see they're all kind of around the same size. This is like typical Colubrina size, although if you look at the last video I filmed last June, the first time we ever came to this island, you'll remember that we caught an absolutely monstrous one, and we caught a monstrous one on our last tour as well. But tonight, just these standard size guys here, these dogs out and about cruising around on the rocks. Talk a bit about them while we watch this guy going about his business. So these guys are out here most likely looking for water. They hunt during the daytime and come to land at night to rest, to mate. And definitely one of the most important facets is to dry out their skin and drink some water. I don't know if we'll see them drink this because this is probably salt water, but they will rainwater or little stream water dripping down from the hill has congregated, has pooled, and they will sip from it there and keep themselves healthy. These guys were all looking in great condition. Clearly a good supply of moray eels in the area, their main food source. And I think that's going to do it for our crate searching tonight. We found a bunch. We're going to poke around a little bit more, but if not, we've got to be up super early tomorrow, so we'll be heading to sleep earlier than usual tonight. Here we are. We just got done with a morning filming and snorkeling with sea crates, and we're heading back to the mainland. We got a long day ahead of us though, driving all the way down south into the deep south of Thailand. Charles and David are here. All our stuff is getting loaded onto the boat, and we're heading back over there. Let's go. All right, we just touched down on location in Yala. Sorry for the lack of updates. I was driving, which means I never film. And then we were in a serious rush to get out, but we just got up now. The guys are over on a road over there, and I'm checking out this cast face. Beautiful stream next to it. Let's get to it. I have a feeling tonight's gonna be cracking. All right, following along the cast, and look what I can see up there. That is the biggest adult female waggler's pit viper I've seen in my entire life, no doubt about that. Okay, here's a better look at our first snake down here in Yala province, first snake of the night. And I'm gonna leave it there because the other guys are making their way for me. We'll get it down on Charles's video, and I'll try and squeeze in a bit of filming afterwards. So I was waiting for the other guys to get here, and David took, let's say, an alternative route up to get me. And he somehow scuttered this guy out of the bushes. And check it out. Uncommon species, absolutely exquisite little young subadult Rhabdophis chrysargos. So much yellows on it. What is biting me? I think it's just a poisonous plant. But yeah, hold on, let me readjust this in my hand. Look at the colors on this. I mean, we've seen some beautiful adults of this type, but this one is got such vibrant yellows. And another snake we haven't seen at this spot before. So cool, look at that. Ah, what the hell did I just touch?
Yeah, I've got the same thing. There must be some dodgy plant around here.
Yeah, something
on fire as well.
That's some of the problems with the jungle. Both David and I have bumped into what one would consider a poisonous or venomous plant, and it's somewhat detracting from the enjoyment of this stunning snake here. But we've got bigger things to contend with, so I'm going to put this guy in my pocket for a second, and we can get this wagglers down. I think she's in shed, but we'll see. All right, we got this girl down and did a bit of filming of Charles, and now I can take a quick look before we put her back up in the tree. What I thought was really interesting, which I didn't mention at the time, I don't know if you noticed on video, but she was sitting in a tree right by the entrance to some small caves. And I was wondering if that's just coincidence or if she's there strategically to hit bats and birds coming out of the cave, which would be very clever positioning. And I definitely think there's a good chance of it, because usually big females like this are way up trees, but she was in perfect kind of position to hit bats as they come out of that middle height cave. So really interesting there, a little insight or potential insight into the ecology of this snake. And looking at her, no, I don't think she's in shed, maybe just edging into it or got some dust from the limestone cast on her. But I mean, check out the size, that thickness. David saw a bigger one on a tour he did in the south earlier this year, but this is the biggest wagglers I've ever seen. Her lengthwise isn't too impressive right now because she's just coiled up there, but like thickness, just incredible. What a fantastic example of one of the coolest and most iconic vipers in Thailand. And not common here either. Some parts of Thailand, Khao Sok and stuff, they're kind of regularly seen, but down here in this specific spot, all our time herping, and this is only the second we've seen at this limestone area, which is a really unusual habitat. Limestone cast, Waggler's pit viper, that's going to be causing some confusion to some Thailand herpers, which wouldn't associate them with that habitat. But here in Yala province, this absolutely incredible snake is living good on the limestone cast, and we're going to put her right back. All right, while we were bossing about this spot, David also grabbed this juvenile Dendrolaphis formosus, one of the smallest ones I've ever seen, but still beautiful at this size. You can tell with that kind of like reddish brown dorsum that it's formosus, and of course the short snout makes that eye look so big there. But yeah, this is a grandiose little snake here, and of course this new spot I discovered here, this limestone cast area, is delivering, and we got 3 snakes in a very short amount of time. Unfortunately, we're going to spend a lot of time filming in this area, so we may not get as much herping as we hope tonight, but this area always produces, and here's our first few snakes of the night. Let's go, guys. Beautiful little Dendrolaphis formosus, elegant bronze back, all of them pretty much hatchling size. All right, the guys are just dropping off the big female wagglers exactly where we caught it. And we're hitting the road again. Gonna just move about, I don't know, a kilometer away and check out a new river, one that's been very productive for us in the past, including a giant king cobra. So let's get to it. Well, we showed up at the new spot and instantaneously spotted this Malayan crate. I don't know if you guys will remember, but I came here a couple months ago with Kaz, and we got 3 Malayan crates in one night here. So they're certainly active, and I've got them many times in the past. You can see this one doing the twitchy crate thing, which freaks everyone out. David's pretty comfortable with that, but even David will drop it sometimes when they start crawling up their own body.
I just don't want it to like crawl onto my fingers.
Yeah. This is what just our second one of the trip, right?
Yep.
An absolute staple of this spot. This spot has such a high density of snakes. I'm not surprised these guys are crawling around. See if we can get a better look. I don't need to spam crate footage because, as David says in his videos and I say, we see these all the time. They've got to be one of the most featured snakes on the channel.
Spots there.
Oh yeah, if we see this guy again in the future, we can recognize him. I wonder if this is one of the ones I saw here last time. I'll try and compare, but I highly doubt it. I think their population is huge, but nice little elapid here, Thailand's most venomous snake, to kick things off, and he's
doing his thing.
Doing his crate thing, being as uncooperative as possible. Nightmare to photograph, that's why we never do it. Oh, he smells bad too.
Yeah, he just shitted.
All right, he's managed to calm down now, and we can take a closer look. Like, yeah, just typical southern one with the lots of black within the white bands and the kind of yellowish, creamy white bands towards the head. This one not too big, just kind of a medium-sized one, and he's super tired now, so he's hiding his little harmless, colubrid-looking head under his coils, trying to keep it as safe as possible. I mean, when you look at the head of this snake, it just doesn't look venomous. It doesn't look scary at all. They've got the little stuffed animal eyes, and honestly quite cute, but make no mistake that I do my absolute best to make no mistakes with this snake, because it's just never ever worth it. This would be what I consider a cataclysmic event if I got bitten by this, and I do intend on doing the most to ensure that never happens, and I will manifest that it will never happen. And it's never going to happen with this one because we're going to let him go now. I didn't think it would come to this, but after many days of their complete absence, we were actually targeting Boiga melanota tonight. Charles really wants to see one to film for his channel, and I got the big boss melanota right here. A real big chunky guy. Exactly what we came to the specific stream to target. I'm going to leave him in situ until Charles gets here. All right, take a look at this guy here. This is a lovely big mangrove cat snake. So nice that the first one we got on the trip is so big. I'll try and give you an example. Hold on a second here. It's always hard to do this in hand to kind of show the size, but look at that. Whoa, that is a decent sized snake right there. And this one, cool kind of like disjointed bands on the mid body. And as usual for this species, just incredibly impressive. We're so blasé to them because we see them so often, but I know why they're such a popular snake. Like, I know why everyone coming to the region wants to see this snake, and it's because they're freaking cool. I mean, look at that. Always with the defensive display as well. Mouth open. Hello. There we go, he sees me. Look at that. Mouth wide open. Getting ready to strike. Feeling probably a bit cornered here because I just put him out here in the open. In the water, he'd be a lot more placid, trying to just swim away. Great swimmers, can swim under the surface, even at huge sizes. Just all round a very impressive snake. And if this is the last snake we saw tonight, it was a great night, but I have a feeling it won't be. So let's keep moving. A little further up the stream, David got another nice mangrove cat. This one's still decent size, but a lot smaller than the last. Don't think we're going to disturb this one, just get a look. But the usual suspects are out in force at this spot. Let's see if we can pick up another species before we head home. You can see there's some frog foam nest there in the background. And in the foreground, big Boiga melanota climbing around in the area we got the huge king cobra. Oh, check out what I just bumped into a little after that mangrove snake, the second one. It's an amazing Edwards Atlas moth, Atticus, or is it a Archaeoatlas edwardsi? You can see a little bit smaller with the way broader wings, but looking absolutely exquisite here. This one's in fantastic condition. Look at that incredible moth. Put my hand next to it to display one of the largest moth species in the world. One of the largest wingspans of any moth. That's simply fantastic. Love to see it. Many of you probably don't know that moths are my first real passion in the wildlife sphere. I was absolutely obsessed with them as a kid in the UK and even as a teen and whatnot. I still am to this day. So seeing something as glamorous as this is always a special moment. Next find is not a snake, it's this Blandford's gliding lizard. You can tell it's Blandford's, well, for numerous reasons, but the most key tell is these red side flaps on the dewlap and an extended sort of pale lower dewlap, but the wing pattern is very Blandford's as well. And you saw him fly a bit there. Be free, my son. Check this out. Here in my hand is a very young earless agamid, and it is absolutely tiny. Look at that. I just thought I'd show it just by how remarkably small it was. It is, rather. It is still alive. He was just sleeping on this plant right here. Exactly like that. All right, massive shout out to everyone who made it to the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Exciting videos, great videos, new snakes. So stay tuned. Peace.